So I have the pleasure to introduce the Attorney General of Pennsylvania. But we are all about education here at the New Pennsylvania Project. So I want to make sure you all know exactly what it is the Attorney General in Pennsylvania does. The Attorney General is an elected office of the executive branch of the Pennsylvania state government. The Attorney General serves as the chief law enforcement officer in Pennsylvania and represents the state and its agencies in any action brought by or against the state. Attorney General Josh Shapiro was reelected in 2020 with 3,461,472 votes. Every single vote matters, and so I told you every single one he received. And that was more than even President Biden received here in Pennsylvania. He has served as the Commonwealth's Attorney General since 2017. Josh Shapiro was previously a state representative for the 153rd District from 2005 to 2011, in case you didn't know that. And he served on the Judiciary, State Government, and Appropriation Committees, as well as others. So prior to being elected as our Attorney General, Josh Shapiro served as Montgomery County's Commissioner as well from 2011 to 2017. So AG, there we go. Attorney General Shapiro has been a true defender of democracy for Pennsylvania. He's defended us against extremists and bad actors attempting to sabotage our free and fair elections. He's defended our votes to ensure every vote counts, especially against attempts to target voters of color here in the Commonwealth. Yes. Attorney General Shapiro has defended Pennsylvanians' right to vote safely by protecting our ability to vote by mail and early. He's defended our privacy by suing the United States Supreme Court to stop Republican efforts to obtain our private information, and that struggle continues. It's my honor to introduce Pennsylvania's Attorney General, Josh Shapiro.
Hi, Kadita. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. I appreciate it. And I just wanted to hop on tonight and just truly say thank you to you and to the army of women and men that you are pulling together here to go out and organize our communities and make sure that everyone is seen and that they are heard. And, you know, I've spent a lot of time, as you know, fighting, battling to ensure that people had access to the polls and then ultimately that their vote was counted. Indeed, the president, well, former president and his enablers sued us 43 times. They sued us 19 times before a single vote was counted, just to try and make it harder for people to vote. And Kadita, let's be real, they weren't trying to make it harder for people who look like me to vote. They were trying to make it harder for Black and brown folk to vote, for our disabled community to vote. And then, of course, after we had a safe and secure, free and fair election, we went and battled against 24 more lawsuits designed to make it so your vote ultimately wouldn't be counted. They went 0-24, we went 24-0, and ultimately the will of the people was protected. I say that at the beginning of my brief remarks here tonight because I want you to understand that was not the end of the fight. In many ways, that was the beginning of the fight, because that work to undermine the right to vote here in Pennsylvania, well, you can draw a direct line between those lies and the violent insurrection on January the 6th. And then you could draw a further straight line between that and the bills that have been introduced in state capitals across this country, including right here in Pennsylvania, to try and restrict people's access to the polls. And now, of course, you could draw a straight line from that all the way to the sham audit that is designed to undermine faith in our democracy. I share that with you because I think it is relevant to the work you're doing. You see, the reason why they sue, the reason why they lie, the reason why they work so hard to try and limit voter participation is because they don't want certain voices to count in our democracy. They don't want certain people to be heard in our democracy. And at the end of the day, what they really want is only their voices to matter, their lobbyists to be heard, their insiders to ultimately govern the decisions that are made. And I refuse to take people out of the equation. If anything, we're going to fight like hell to make sure everybody is included. And that's where you come in. The word everybody. Well, there are a bunch of folk who don't participate in our democracy. They're not registered to vote. They don't feel like they can access polls, even though legally they have the right to vote. And you all are doing unbelievably important work to push back on the lies, to push back on the efforts to undermine our democracy and say, not only does everybody count, we're going to expand the everybody. And we're going to go to communities that have been forgotten, communities that have been left behind, communities that have been ignored, and communities where some people just feel like they've given up and don't feel like there's value in their vote. And you're going to say to them, not only is there value in your vote, here's how you register, here's how you get engaged. If we're going to win these big battles in 2022, my race as governor, US Senate race, congressional races, the very, very important legislative races, it's going to require all of us getting off the sidelines, getting in the game and doing our part. And you all are doing your part. And we need you now more than ever to make sure that every voice is heard and every voice counts. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of our whole campaign. I know Larry Helsham is on here. We truly want to salute you for the important work that you're doing. We recognize you're not out there just for one candidate or another. You're out there for our democracy. And it matters what you're doing. And it really, really matters right now, given how high the stakes are. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the work you're doing. Khadija, thank you for your leadership, and I'll turn it back to you.